Hi friends, welcome back to my crafty desk. Sandra here at Blossom and Inspire, and today I'm going to show you a few things I've been working on, and then we're going to get to working on something that I'm working on. But first I just want to say thank you so much for choosing to come hang out with me, for subscribing, commenting, and especially giving this video a thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you are enjoying all your moments. I know I have been enjoying all my moments. I really try to make every moment count. Sometimes it's just resting, but I am trying really hard to make them all count because I love my moments. Anyways, friends, disclaimer, messy fingernails, really bad. They're stained with coffee dye. I do not use gloves. I cannot use gloves. I just go full, I just go in. I go in and I get icky hands for a couple of weeks and then I clean up. So let me show you what I was working on. So I had a recent, I think I showed these. I don't remember, honestly, but I picked up some books and they were old. This one is The Betrothed. I took it apart. I went ahead and stained the inside just in case somebody may be interested in this. So these books right here, I'm sniffing it because, so these books right here, there's a set of 3 and they had a little bit of that musty smell, which I don't want to smell the must. I just don't. I like the smell of old books, but I don't like that musty smell or that mildewy smell or whatever it is. These had a musty. It wasn't super strong, so I thought, okay, I'm going to try and see what I can do to see if I can minimize it or get rid of it. So I went ahead and I left the book intact and I copy dyed the whole book. This is a lot of work, and if you've never copy dyed an entire book with every page, let me tell you, it is a ton of work because as you're opening the pages to ink them or to copy dye them, they're sticking, and then I get partway through the book, there's a lot of pages, and then it's almost impossible. So I do have some, you know, some wounded ones, some wounded pages, but they did come out nice. I love the sound of these papers. This book to me wasn't anything special before I copy dyed it. Once it's copy dyed, I love it. And then I was cutting them apart and then to get them dry, because that's the other part, is drying a book. A full book is hard. It's compact. You know, when you stick a whole book in the copy dye mixture, it's not a matter, even if I try to open up pages, I will not get all the pages. I'll have chunks of it that are left behind with no dye. So I went through every page and dyed it. Towards the back, I'll have to go through all these. Towards the back, I had to kind of give up on that just because of the way they were sticking. But you can see some of them are a little bit better than others. I did put it outside to help the drying process, only because, well, not only, but mainly because it already had coffee, that musty smell. I didn't want to increase that smell. I did a lot of research after the fact, and there's like things you can do to mitigate it. You can do vinegar baths, you can do baking soda. I don't want the baking soda residue, so I didn't want to do that one. Also, to do the vinegar one, I'd have to do this process like twice. I can add vinegar to my coffee. There's just different things, but I didn't want vinegar. I just didn't want to use it. I wanted to see what I could do without it. So it does have a little bit of that light smell. It's not bad. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to find the one I did this. I took my Scentsy room spray. This one is vanilla bean. There's all different scents. I have one that's lavender also, but I didn't want to mix a florally scent with a musty scent. I felt like that might give me a whole different scent that I wouldn't be liking. But I feel like vanilla bean, cinnamon, things like that. I feel like those are cloves. Those kinds of scents, I can work with those because I think they will help to, you know, camouflage that or get rid of it. But I know there's one in here. Like, I can sniff all of these and I smell coffee. So anyways, something to think about. I might use some of this in giveaways on some of my sales just to kind of put them out there to see. And then as people are winning them, maybe they can give me some feedback on what they think. But this is one of the things I copy dyed, loving that so much. And it's all nice and dry. I put it outside with rocks on because we're windy here. I have to put rocks on everything, otherwise they blow away. But if not, it's just like beautiful. Like I can just set that on my shelf like that for a while and just enjoy that. Okay, that one is done. I also did the cover, like I said, just to see. I mean, somebody may want this. It is very warped. But this can be painted. It can be, stuff can be added to it. But these panels are like, they're super cool. I don't know. Is it even, can you do it this way instead? Why not? I mean, like, I'm always making the journals the other way. Wouldn't that be fun, though? Why not do it that way? Okay, let's do that. That would be the outside. This would be the journal cover. This would be the outside. Oh my gosh. Heck yes. Yeah. Raggedy, jaggedy, grungy journal. Who's in it? Who's in? All right. Then I showed you that little clip. I did that little clip with the drilling holes. Oh my gosh. I drilled so many holes. And it was rumbling the table. I was like partway through and I was like I wasn't feeling too great. I was like, oh my gosh, what did I eat? I was like, am I getting food poisoning? But then I wasn't like sick to my stomach where I couldn't eat. And then I sat down for a while and it went away. And I was feeling nauseated. And I realized that I was leaning on the table and it was shaking. I was getting motion sickness from drilling the holes. So I had to make sure I wasn't pressing myself up against that table for stability. But I took the Rummy Cube pamphlet and I ripped it on accident. But I feel like I could put some cool old tape right there. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, it came out nice. My sister was here and she was like, she goes, you're doing that? And I said, yeah, it's cool. It's got numbers on it. It's a game piece. And the size is perfect, like for a journal. Like it's awesome. She's like, okay. Okay. She's like, I see it. I see it. And then I'm going to show you these books really here. I'm just going to get my desk cleaned off here. Just giving you a quick peek of some of the things I was trying. My sister years ago had given me these Dick and Jane books. She goes, I know you're collecting. This is in the beginning of me collecting stuff. But they were brand new. Like, see how white that is? They were like a brand new white. And I was like, oh, I'm never going to use them. It's going to take forever to ink them. So I just came upon my stack. I had them stashed away for a while. And so it's the same thing. I just page by page, I copy dyed them all and just kind of threw them together. I didn't mind like some of these like white spots because I do like that. So you might see a little bit of that throughout. But these are so cool. Oh, I should have brought one down that's not dyed so you can see the actual difference. So different. And I was thinking, and like some of the pages got some wrinkles, but that's just part of what's happening. And then as I was folding them over and they were drying, there's some parts that got more heavily saturated with the copy dye. Some pages didn't get it as much. So this could be one of those times where I thought I got both sides, but I still like it. It's definitely still dingier than the bright white. When I'm telling you bright white, I don't even have one here. It's this white. So you can see that difference maybe. I don't know. Can you see that difference? I don't know. Anyhow, so this is the book. I did 2 of these. I have like 5 or 6 of these. I don't know if anybody would be interested in a full copy dyed book. It can still be taken apart and created into a journal, fussy cuts, all kinds of things. This is so pretty. But I did the covers also just in case. A lot of times we cover our covers with scrapbooking paper, but I thought, why don't I just do the copy dye on there, and then if somebody likes that, they can just keep it. Anyhow, I was thinking about selling these books copy dyed. However, you know, it takes a lot of time. It's a lot of work to copy dye it and then to dry it and to keep it intact. And I think about like, you know, what would be the value on this book as a full copy dyed book to play with. I don't mind. I don't know. My initial thought is $10. I think it's a good value. It's pre-copy dyed. It'll all be dried and ready to go. But and the covers are cute. Now I tried to copy dye it. It's shiny, so I couldn't copy dye it. There's copy on it. I will clean that up. So let me show you. See, it just comes right off. Nothing's gonna stain it. So that would be, as you know, the brightness, and all that coffee would come off. It's a messy job, but I do enjoy doing it. So there you go. There's that one and this one, and I think she gave me a set of like 5 or 6 of these books, and then I would just see which one I would want to keep for myself, or 2, or, you know, I don't know. I don't even know if anybody would want to buy these, to be perfectly honest. I think $10 is a good value for all the work that's involved in putting them together. And And then I was thinking, since my sister had gifted these, she bought them and gave them to me. I was thinking after I sell them, I would then throw her a little bit of a thank you cash, you know. She's standing here. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stain these and I'm going to try and sell them. And she's like, you are? I'm like, yes. And then I was like, okay, well, so there you go. There you have it. I have 2 of those. Right now. I'm going to do the rest of them, but I would love to hear the feedback, my friends. And you don't have to say, yes, I would buy that, but just let me know what you think. On some of the copy dyeing that I was doing, I had grabbed my stash, and I had this tub down in my area where I keep all my materials to do this kind of stuff from when I was doing shaving cream dyeing with food coloring with the kids quite a few years ago. And I had all these food coloring things that are in these little squirty tubes. So I thought, oh, I'm going to try and see. I kind of liked it. I mean, I had fun doing it. I just think my tubes that I have aren't super great. This, I had left it near something, and so it leached onto there, and I love that. Isn't that going to be a beautiful, like, page? That's just gorgeous. Okay, so I have that one with some color. I have this one with some color. This one, I like how when I dropped it on there, how it was wet, and then the copy dye outlined it. I didn't do that. And then this one, I had more of it, but then I left something on it, and it changed it, but that's okay. It's still really pretty. It's really, really cool. I think maybe you can see more of them on here. I don't know if they're showing up to you. This one it was green, but it showed more like this yellowy chartreuse color. So I stopped doing that. I don't mind it. I just really wanted a pretty green with that pink, and I wasn't getting that. So I just did that just for practice. And then I have this book right here, a notebook. And I used to keep it with me, and then I would just use up the last bit of my copy dye, and I would just put it on here. And then this time I decided, you know what? I'm going to just go through and splotch it, because I was really liking all the white spaces. I don't know if this whole book has them. No. So this is one of those things where I was just like trying to like get the book all wet. It's hard because the pages are stuck together, so they don't get in there. It's just like when you're trying to burn a book. If you've ever tried to burn a book. I've never burned a book, but I've watched it. So, you know, like I've not watched it. Oh my gosh. I've seen them after the fact from a fire. And you know how there's a big chunk that doesn't get burned because they're like smushed together, whatever. Anyways, this is just a fun notebook. I have a few of these, and I just throw my extra copy dye in there just to play with. I can pull a page out when I need it. I might just decide to take that apart at a later date when I get it more full. We will see. And I also never know what lines are going to fade out. Like this one, they're not fading out, that the ink isn't leaving. Sometimes it does. And also when it fades out, it'll change the color of your inking. So you got to take that into consideration if that's not something you want. This is the project that I needed, and I didn't, my friends, I didn't have any coffee dye paper. I was like, I needed specific paper, and then that was just like plain, and I wanted it to be coffee dyed, and I went to my stash, and I was like, Sandra, you sold all your paper. You need to make more. So that's what started me on the process, even while I have company, as I thought, okay, I'm just going to do it. The kids are older. We're winding down for the summer. I'm going to take away the dining room table from everybody. So I did that. I have my little ghost poem thing that I want to put in here for my, to work on the kids' Halloween, which is, they're getting there. They're almost done. Let me set this aside for just a second. While I was doing that, I grabbed some more paper, and for the first time ever, I used some of the RIT dye, and I was playing with that, and this is in the color of graphite. So this is coffee dye and graphite. Listen to this. This is typewriting paper. So this is what it was doing because it's so thin. It was on purpose. It was wrinkling up, but I loved it. I think it's so cool. It gives a whole different texture. I love it. And I love this graphite. I was trying to get something kind of dingy, grungy. Dungy. Is that what we're going to call it? It's like a dingy and a grungy. So I wanted some Dungy paper. And so this is the graphite. So I can show you both sides. And then when they were so wet, I was trying to sop things up. So here's the paper stuck together. Because some of this typewriting paper is like kind of like, it has like this like gluey texture. Not gluey, but it's like, I don't know what to call it, but it's sticking together. So these are the papers that I was putting on to sop some stuff up. And then I thought, oh, I really like that white space. of course. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And it looks pretty even with these. Like, it's just gorgeous. And I love the sound, the crinkle. I just have to be slow pulling them apart. And that's so pretty. I love all of these. And then here's some more extra Dungy. I see a face right away. There's probably more on here. What's this? I don't know where that came from. Oh, you know what? I had this sitting on something. It must have pulled the ink. I don't know if I even have that down. I think I do, but I'll show you in a second. So these are the typewriter papers. Loving them so much. They're so beautiful. What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite of like the coffee dye and the graphite color together, or do you like them both, or do you like with having all that white space? I like them both. I don't know if I can choose. Oops. Look at, I'm going too fast. I tore it. Still good. Still good. Oh my gosh, so cool. I love these. So there's like a front side and then a back side together. This one. And I have so much other paper that I've been copy dyeing. Look at that one. Oh, it's so pretty. So much more. I'm going to have to go through them, separate them into piles, because they're like different things, like different things that I was using. I can do it on a video. Let me know if you're interested in watching that with me. Watching me do that. I'll be probably talking nonstop. And, oh, that's just cool. So, love that. All right, so there's my typewriter papers that I have so far. So, like, when I say separating, like, I'll be doing, with my other paper, like these ones I have, this is coffee dye and graphite. So, my Dungy papers would be like this, and then I would take, and I would separate these. And then that way, when I'm doing a cell, I could have two piles, you know, or I could just do one, depending on how many I have, I can do one pile at a time. So this would be more Dungy, and this would be more, this would be, what, Grungy and Dungy? All right, so that's basically what I would be doing. But I have like a ton of paper. So those aside here. So this is file folder, not file, well, it's kind of, it was like a notebook. It was like way back when I was a banker, there was this, like notebook, and I took all the paper out, and I only put, and I kept all the card, and, because they were just throwing it away, told me to take all my stuff when I left, because they don't, it's like super, like, we don't take care of your stuff, you take care of your stuff. I was like, all right, that's fine. So I asked if I could just take these pieces, and they said, yeah, as long as it didn't have any writing or anything internal on it, and it didn't. Nothing had anything internal. It just has like month 3. So they're like, yeah, that's fine. There's nothing crazy. So I had some Dungy here, and I was just playing around with these and making marks. I think these will be good for like fall and Halloween. Well, any type of grungy type of journal, but so that right there is still damp. That's why that looks different. And so this, oh, this mark also is because I put them outside to dry, and I stuck a rock on it. So that's where that mark is coming from. I'm just realizing that. So there you go. So there's some of my file folder. So let me put this all aside now. I've got my Rummy Cube, I've got my Dick and Jane, and then I have all these book pages right here with a piece of my hair. Is that my hair? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to take that out. I don't charge extra for it, but... And then this. Tell me what you think. I want to know what you think. That'd be cool for a journal. And then I need to know who wants to do it. Should I just make one? Should I just add this to my list and use some of these Dungy papers for it? Maybe just make like a blank journal with like just pages. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I would love to hear what you think about it though. But look at this book. It doesn't even fit in there anymore. It's all puffed up with the coffee. All right, cleaned off my desk for a second there, and then I want to show you what I'm doing, why I needed these copy dye papers. As I was making these cards, they're still not finished. I still need to put their names on them, but I did get the grit, the glow-in-the-dark grit on there. I am opting out of going on with the Posca paint marker at this time just because it's so time consuming, because I think the faces show up well enough. So I went, as I was putting it on there, I was kind of scraping off on their face. So around their face, I just needed to minimize some of the work. So I did that. And then I said that I wanted to put like a little poem or something on here. I think the last place we left off, I was stamping on these. And from that random impromptu live craft with me, or crafting and chat. So I went ahead and went on my Word doc and I used ChatGPT, helped me create some kind of little poem. I added my own words to it and then put some little figurine things in there. And this is what I picked out. So it's called The Ghost in the Pocket. Some say if you carry a Halloween tag in your pocket, a tiny ghost comes with it. It's not scary. It just likes to follow you, hum little songs, and keep the candy thieves away. Candy thieves, I think, are the parents, actually. So tuck your tiny Halloween tag safely in your pocket and enjoy this Halloween. And then there's like some little emojis, like little ghost music, candy, and then, of course, my spider, because I add a spider to everything I do. I still had some of this paper from where all the ghosts were cut out. I have enough of this. So I'm making tiny tags. So although that's another reason why I opted out of painting in their faces, because I'm adding a little extra work. So I'm going to tear these out. I'm going to glue them down here. And then I'm debating, I don't know whether I'm going to put like a little pocket back here and put their little tag, or if I'm going to put their little tag on here. So remember, I still have these and I haven't figured out what I want to do with them yet. So one of the things I was thinking is going ahead and putting them on here. This is going to go into a bag. Is now going to go into a bag with their little candy inside. This will have their name. I'll punch it. It'll have something hanging off here. If I add this to here and then add a little grommet here, I can hook this little tag in there so they undo it. I just think that might be a little too much work. I could also put this here, glue just this part down. Oh my gosh, get it together, girl. Glue right there, or staple it, or stitch it, or whatever I find that I like easier. And then I can just hook their little tag in there like that. And just like slip it in, like a little tuck spot. You know what I mean? And then they can have like a little keychain thing right there, and they can do that. So what I'm thinking is cutting these out. I'm inking the edges to keep them dark. And then maybe putting a Mod Podge over the whole thing, because that'll change the texture of this. It'll make it kind of like a, almost like a vinyl-y thing, but it'll make them more safer in their pockets. However, if they forgot it in their pocket and mom, probably mom, does the laundry, then will I be making a gluey mess in their pocket? So I'm like thinking ahead like that. So as I'm thinking that, I'm now gonna opt out of putting any glue on there. I'm just gonna make it a tag. Okay. Saving myself some time. So I can either do that right there, but then I was thinking it should be back here only because the little saying's gonna be back there. I may have already completed this by the time you see this video, my friends, but I still wanna hear all the things that you would have done. I could still do the same thing back here and glue it on there like this, but then it goes into that ghost. Maybe I'm not gonna use this. Maybe. Okay, maybe I'm not going to use this. Maybe I'll use those next year or something else. I can still make a little pocket. I can even use these for the pocket, actually. Why not? I can glue, oh my gosh. So if I glue, okay, I'm just talking it through. If I glue this down, you know, this side right here, and I glue that, can I put that like that to hold it in there? No. Okay. If I do it that way and make it like a little tuck, I'm just wasting this though. I can use two of them. Okay, talking it through. It doesn't have to go on both sides, but it can. That'll bring this black and white down here. And then I can just glue that down there, and I can use this for a tuck. And then I'll put a little thing on here. And that, so the thing is that this is the ghost in the pocket. I thought, you know, of course, like there's ghosts on here, and that could be the pocket. I think this is what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it down towards the bottom, because these tags are up high enough, and then it ties it in. And then I'm using these. This is what I bought them for. I want to use them on here. I mean, if anything else, I can put them up here as a little tag, and I can put their little dingle in there. One way or the other, these are going to get used. All right, and I still have to put the white piece right there. All right, so what I'm doing is that I may have to refer back to this video to remember what I'm doing here, but I want to get all my little tags made. So these, I'm doing them in 1.5 by 2.5, I believe. And I just grabbed my paper here. Oops. And I'm leaving that bottom strip on because I don't really care about that. I'm going to go 1.5 down, and I'm just trying to make sure that I have a, when I look at my line here, I want to make sure that I have a, goodness gracious, ghost, a nice ghost on each tag, even after I cut it. But I have enough of these papers where it's fine if I don't. I can make more. So we'll just do that one, and then I'll finish that later off camera. 2.5 here. So, and then that makes it long enough. See, and I'll have a ghost there. I know that's good. This one, 2.5 inches that way. I have a ghost. I'll have a ghost there. This one, I mean, once I cut these off, it's going to be a lot of blank space, so this may be a wasted one. But look, the back of it is double-sided, so I can use this space for something. And I'll look at them before I do the cutting of the tag. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second here. And then this one, my 2.5 is this part, but I can use all of this for something else. So that's going to go over here. So I'm looking at my tags. I want the ghost to be right there. There's ghosts are in the middle. This one, I mean, you can see those faces. That's cool. That's cool. This one, once I cut it, I'm using the biggest piece, the biggest cut, slanted cut. So what happens? Yeah, I feel like that's a good tag. That's going to work. And then I'm using, I don't know which one I'm using here. I don't think it matters. I just want them rounded. It's either going to be the biggest one or the second to the biggest one, rounded part right there. That'll work. I think this one will work. This one actually might work. This one, let me just cut it to show you what I'm talking about. So once it's done, it may work. See, it's just too empty right there, so I'm not gonna like that. But it's a cute tag this way, so I can still save it in my stash for other things. Let's do this one really quick and see where we're at. I mean, as I'm doing this, I think, oh, if I would have thought this happened, my thought process on this happened as it was happening. It wasn't thought through, because that's not how I work. As much as I wish I could work that way, it's generally not how I work. So if I was doing that, or if I had time to redo this, if I hadn't went as far as I did, I would probably make these tags a little bit bigger, or I'd make the sayings. I don't think I could make them any smaller, but it kind of would have been cute to be on this, you know, so that this is their ghost. But I could, if I have time, I could put the ghost in the pocket on the back here. I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to leave them that way. Slow your roll. So this will still need to be continued on and to be cut. I'm going to go ahead and just do my strips really quick. 1.5. I believe it gave me 8 strips this way, and I get 4 ghosts the other way. Obviously, not all of them are going to be able to be used, but the majority of them. I'm making 40 altogether, so I need to have 40 ready. There we go. And then this one here. Okay. I think if I did it right, I should get 8 of these. If I did my math right. If I did my math right. It's a 12 by 12 sheet. That's 1 1/4 though. I gotta go 1 1/2. I hope I did them all right. Oh my gosh. Oh geez. Okay, get in there. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, and I did 1 before you, 8. Yeah. So there's 8 strips. And if 8 times 4 is what, 30, is it 32 or 34, 32? Oh my gosh, I can't count. I can't do math right now. So I'll have to use another sheet to make some more because I want 40 of them all together. But I'll wait till I cut these up so I know how many strips I need, because like I said, some may be, you know, too plain for my liking, and then that end piece will go into my scraps. So we'll stick that aside for now. That goes over there. And then I just wanted to take these. So this was in my stash, these papers, these to do coffee dyeing with. And it's very inexpensive, very lightweight paper, but I like it also. I mean, I like all different kinds of paper, but one of the things I like about this is it's easy to tear, and that's what I was after. I don't know if I want that. I think I'd prefer to have a torn, because then it's easier for me to tear it than it is for me to cut it, and it's such thin paper that it's gonna rip my paper on my cutter. I already know that, so I'm just gonna do this. Normally I would want to ink this afterwards, but I don't think I'm going to have time. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go right over that black line. Should go this way first, because then I have a nice strip here that I can play with. I'm going to go right on that black line because I kind of brought that title up pretty close. So I don't know how to create things. I don't have Canva because I don't know how to use it. I'm nervous. I don't want to buy stuff right now that I don't know how to use and try to learn it at this point in time. So the way I created these is, like I said, I had ChatGPT help me, and then I took that and I put it in I copied it, and then I put it on a Word document inside of I saved it to my notes. And then from there, I was able to alter what I wanted to do. I then took it and I put it in, I actually sent it to myself in an email, because on the email, this is my process, because I don't know how to do anything else. I sent it to my email because my email allows me to add emojis in it, but my Word doesn't. I don't have emojis on my Word. If they are there, I don't know how to find them. So I sent it to myself in an email, where I was then able to alter it and put the emojis in it. Then I did it like I was going to send an email. I didn't actually send the email. I was going to new email, put it in there, added the emojis. Then I copied it, and then I pasted it in a Word document inside of a text box. That's what this frame is, so that I can move it around and do that, because I don't know how to do this on Word unless it's in a text box. Maybe you can't. Maybe that's why I don't know how. Anyhow, that is all the work I do to get this. It's insane. It's an insane amount of work. But it works. I know how to do that. And I try really hard to get them evened out so I can, when I'm tearing them like this, I can get it like that in a one fell swoop. All right, I always print extra because I'm not always really great at sometimes I'll tear into the words. So there's that. Now, if I have time, I might ink the edges of these. I just don't know. I'm gonna see what they look like on the back of that. Since they're coffee dyed, so my printer is an Epson, whatever printer, the one where the ink will run if it gets wet. So that's why I print on my coffee dye paper instead of print and then copy dye. I used to have a printer that I could copy dye. I could print all my stuff and then I can copy dye. That printer, I didn't realize, this was in the beginning of YouTube stuff, and then I really wanted this Epson printer, so I bought it, and then I gave my other one away to my son. And I was like, because he needed a printer, and I was like, oh, here, you can have this one, I'm not using it. And now then I was like, oh, I really want that other printer again. So I went to go buy one, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're so expensive. So I didn't do it. I did buy one that's just black and white. I didn't want to pay the extra for the color, because what I needed was for the black and white for doing transfers with jelly plate. And so that was all I was after at that time. Now I'm wishing I would have just waited and saved up a little bit more money and got the one that was the color ink also, because I want to print some digitals and some other things on it and then copy dye afterwards. It gives it a different look. So there's a look that you can get having copy dye first and then printing, and then and it looks to me, I feel like it's different after the fact. So there's that. Let me just do the one page. So that's my thing. I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest of these, but not right this second. I want to see how this looks. So here's a few cards that I have right now. So there it is, not inked up. And I feel like I don't need to ink it up only because it's got this outline with all this stitching. But let's just try one inked up just in case. Just a little bit. It does grunge it up. I feel like it's Halloween, like it needs to be a little bit more grungy. This is ground espresso on this, by the way. So there. Yeah, I definitely need to do that. Okay, it's going to be a step, but it's a step in the right direction. I can do this with glue stick, or I can do it with Mod Podge. And honestly, I feel like I'm going to try this with Mod Podge. Oh, only because it's going to give it a more, I don't know, like that vinyl-y kind of a feel. So let's see. Let's try this little one here. This is matte, isn't it? Do I want gloss or matte? I feel like I want gloss on this one. This page right here, this side, I did matte. Let me grab the gloss really quick. You guys, I put way too much Vaseline on that last time. Like, I can't get it off my hand. Whenever I'm lubing my jars up on camera, I always do way too much because I think I'm just too hyper-focused on showing what I'm doing, and I want to make sure you can see it. And so what I'm saying is it's all your fault. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why I do that. Like, this one came off easy. I haven't opened this one up in, I mean, at least, I'm going to say at least 6 months. And look how easy that came off. So, I mean, so easy. It's got the Vaseline in there. I got my little thing there. And then it's still nice. Okay, nice and creamy. So I think I'm just going to do this. Put this down. I don't know how long this video is already. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go ahead and just tap it down. Tap, tap, tap. Where my thread ended right there. I'm just going to put some on there. Why not? Maybe I'll just go across the whole thread. Doesn't matter. I just want to keep my threads on there. And then I'm going to stick that down in there. Well, I was hoping to do it a little bit more straighter, but okay, get down in there. And then this is glossy. It says gloss lister. Oh, here comes Jason. He's going to get ready for his test, so I'm going to have to end this pretty quick here. He's got to do that online stuff. I think, oh, I don't want to scrape that in there, so I don't have a dish here. Let's see. Let's just use this paper right here. And who knows, maybe this is going to be like a little happy accident here that I'm making something. This is going to take some time. All right, so maybe what I'll do is glue stick it down. Try that on one. I'll just do like a tester. I'm not going to do that. Well, I guess I can do it with you and see if that holds it down. I just feel like with all the elements, I just don't know if that's going to hold that down. But I like that. That's cute. Now, let's see. I have one that this one I did a lot of work on with the inking and the dyeing. But then it takes away that black and white look up there, but it does add that vintage feel. I kind of like that better. Let's just, wait, is that what I said I was going to do? I don't remember now. Yeah. It's going to take it all the way across. And then this tag, I don't know what I did with those. Those little tags. I just want to put that down. I just want the tag to fit in there nice and snug like that. And then I'll put like a little thing in there. All right. Let me move this glue down. I don't want like a thick thing. A thick puddle. I just want to see what this is going to do since I wasted my... No, it's not a waste. It's an experiment. Halloween experimenting. Let's see what's going to happen to this paper. All right. I just don't know. I haven't committed on to this, but I think that's what I'm going to do. On the front, so like, see how I was trying to pull that thread? I like to leave the threads. I'm just debating whether I'm going to leave this back thread or not. The front thread right there. These ones are fine down here. I just think it might be in the way. Let's go ahead and give them a snip. I think I'm going to go ahead and let those ones go. And then move those out of the way. I'm going to take this one. This is what I did right here. Well, not this one, but like where the ghost is hiding this one. Do I have one over here that I didn't do that with? Nope. When the ghost is on this side and the thread started there, I just put a little dab of this. I know you can still see it, but it's all kid Halloween stuff. I'm not too worried about it. If it bothers me, I can always go back and put like a little sequin or something like that on there, because I do have some little black sequins. And I can just put that on there. Another thing I was wondering is, all those different things that are like stickles and stuff like that, that's technically glue, right? Isn't it glue? So I can always do that. Let's try this one. Do I want to add some of this? I don't want to get Fabri-Tac on my, or Fabrifix on my thing, but I can always just add like a little bit of that there. You know, whatever. There's things I can do to camouflage it. All that to say. So there we go. And then I can do that on the back or not, or just leave it. It's going to be messy. It's fine. It's Halloween. It's meant to be messy. So I like these. If it was a journal, I love that they're flimsy and stuff like that. I just wish that I had a little bit more time to go ahead and back this to something else for the kids, just so that it was more sturdy. So like if they wanted to hang it on their door or something like that, it wasn't all crinkly and wrinkly, which I, again, love it for junk journaling and things like that. Just not that. Okay. Anyways, my friends, that's all I've got right now. Let me see if I can dry that. All right. So, just still working with it. This part right here is nice and stiff because of all this. This part is not, but I'm wondering after this dries, that'll probably give it a little bit more stiffness. I just don't think it needs that, unless I was putting the dangle up there. I might just do that. I might just go ahead and do that and then put the tie in there. And that way, if they want to hang it on their wall, they have that. They can figure out something else for the ghost down here. Yet, this is to be determined, because I really don't know what I'm going to do. And I still have all these strips that I made for the, that were part of the, when I pulled these cards off. Where did they come from? Was it when I cut them? I don't remember. But I can always use this as a little piece here, and I can slip the card in there. I mean, it would be barely holding it, but that's okay. I can, yeah, I don't know. Each one has a strip. I can double it up and make some kind of kooky thing, you know, that holds it. So maybe it goes slanted. That's kind of cute. Just kind of working it. It can go down in there. See that second one? This one could be taped like that and go like that. That's kind of cute. Like, there's options. Okay. I need to put this here and this here so I don't forget what I'm doing. Put my little tag right there. Got that drying nicely. And then I still need to add this cute piece from those doilies that I bought from Maddie. I love those things. Okay, so this one, see, it's going to get that vinyl. Oh, I like that. That might be kind of fun to use. Maybe I'll start doing that to some of my scraps. Or instead of having like a plate where I'm like wasting my Mod Podge. Maybe I'm using a paper on the side and I can just run it on there. Another thing too, if I don't want it to move around, I can put this like, attach this, not attach it, but like put it down on one of my jelly plates, my larger ones. It'll hold that down for me while I'm painting it, but I would be afraid, I think, to get the Mod Podge on my jelly plate. Anyways, this is where I'm at. I'm gonna go ahead and finish working on these, my friends. I'm not sure that how fun this video was, but I do appreciate you hanging out with me and helping me through my process while I think it through and try to get it done. Yeah, there you go. I'd love to hear all your thoughts on this and what you're thinking. The only other thing I was thinking about adding to this is maybe a little bit of gold. I know I have some gold fun paint. Where did I put it? It's here somewhere. I know it's here somewhere. Where did I do with it? This one. Nope, that's pearls. I have lots of fun stuff in here that I haven't played with because I'm scared because I don't know what to do. But I have this one right here. This is pretty expensive. I might use this for something else. But anyways, that's it. I'm going to be done. Thanks for hanging out with me, my friends. I hope you enjoy all your moments, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.